Okay, so I think we all know that Nigel Farage basically doesn't want anything to do with Tommy Robinson. Let's clear a few things up. Tommy Robinson has never asked to join the Reform Party. He doesn't want to be a part of the Reform Party. The only thing that he's ever done is tell his supporters to go and vote for Reform. That's the only thing that Tommy Robinson has ever done. He's never asked to join the party or be any kind or go and speak at their events or anything like that. He's just thrown his weight and behind them and supported them and said, you need to go and vote for Reform. That's the only thing he's ever done. So, Nigel Farage, we all know that Nigel Farage doesn't want anything to do with Tommy Robinson, and that is fair enough. But it seems that at every opportunity, Nigel Farage, instead of just brushing off the question and going on to the next question, he takes his time to stick his boot into Tommy Robinson when he's down, when he's got no right to reply because he's in prison at the minute for civil contempt of court at the minute. And he's got no right to reply. I'm sure that Tommy Robinson would have replied to the things that Nigel Farage has said if he'd have been out of prison, but he hasn't had that opportunity yet. And I'm sure that when he gets out of prison, he will address everything that's been said about him. Saying that, so let's deal with the main crux of this video. So a lot of people say that the Reform Party can't touch Tommy Robinson because he's too toxic, because of his criminal past and that sort of thing. Nigel Farage has called him a thug in the past as well and wants nothing to do with him. And that is all fair enough. If that's their belief, that's fair enough as far as I'm concerned. But the issue that I have is this. Because for their mayoral candidate, they have this guy. Ant Middleton teases run to be London Mayor for Reform UK in Major Sadiq Khan. So if you don't know, Ant Middleton has been on the stage of the Reform Party making speeches for them and stuff like that. And they've got no issue with Ant Middleton being on the stage with Nigel Farage or Richard Tice or anything like that, making speeches in support of the Reform Party. Now the thing is, right, and let's not forget, the Reform Party has an issue with Tommy Robinson because he has a criminal past. And I just want to say this, right, this isn't me having to go at Ant Middleton. This is me pointing out the Reform Party's hypocrisy when it comes to Tommy Robinson. So let's look at this. So, as you can see, Ant Middleton was convicted of the unlawful wounding of a male police officer and common assault of a female police officer in a nightclub in Chelmsford in Essex in 2013. He was sentenced to 14 months in prison, of which he served only 4 months due to good behaviour. Now, this kind of blows all this nonsense out the window that Tommy Robinson is too toxic for the Reform Party to touch. They will have Ant Middleton up there, and again, this is not an attack on Ant Middleton, this is just me pointing out the hypocrisy of the Reform Party. Because, and their excuses they use not to give support to Tommy Robinson because he's too toxic. Well, if you want toxic, there's nothing more toxic than having that in your past, is there? Your Ant Middleton is allowed to share a stage with Nigel Farage. He's allowed to run for a mayoral candidate as London Mayor. And he was convicted of wounding a male police officer and assaulting a female police officer. Again, this is not me attacking Ant Middleton. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of the Reform Party in this matter. To be honest with you, I think Nigel Farage is envious of Tommy Robinson and the support that he's got. So instead of ingratiating Tommy Robinson, he actually treats Tommy Robinson as a rival, somebody to be smeared and destroyed. And Nigel Farage has a history of doing this to people. He did it to Gerard Batten regarding UKIP. He's done it to Ben Habib. He's done it to other people as well. Anybody he deems to be a threat to his popularity, Nigel Farage smears them. And we've got evidence of this, because why else would Nigel Farage go on tangents when asked questions about Tommy Robinson, instead of just, you know, deflecting the question and saying, I'm not here to talk about Tommy Robinson, I don't know the man, let's move on to the next question, when that would be a more diplomatic way to deal with the situation, wouldn't it? Anyway, this is just me pointing out the hypocrisy of the Reform Party, because and all those people that come into my comment sections saying that Tommy Robinson is just too toxic for the Reform Party to touch. Well, you know, I think it's got a lot to do with profile as well, because Ant Middleton is an ex-SAS operative, and like I said, I've got nothing but respect for Ant Middleton. This is just me pointing out the hypocrisy of the Reform Party when they choose to say that they're not going to associate with somebody because they have a criminal past and that they're a thug. And I'm sure Ant Middleton would admit in this case that when he wounded a male police officer that he was being a thug. So it kind of blows all this narrative out of the water that the Reform Party won't touch Tom Robinson because he's too toxic, because he's a criminal thug, because their mayoral candidate is a criminal thug by Nigel Farage's definition. Anyway, this is my video for today. This is Vindicator, signing off.